Hi guys, okay, so this is topic 2, measure of dispersion. Okay, yeah, so this is the formula. Now this formula is the same as the median that we previously learned in topic 1. Okay, so in median, what happens? We take total f divided by 2, correct? So over here the difference is we're going to take the total f divided by 4. That's the difference. Now all the other workings are the same. Now, so what we're going to do is, first step, still the same, we're going to work out the m, the cumulative frequency. So you start from 2, then you add up. How much you get? 7, then you get 17, you get 32, 40, 43, 44. Okay, step 2, find the total of the frequency that we get, 44, this and this. need to be equal. Okay, so in order to check the answer for the cumulative frequency, step number 3, step number 3 done. Step number 3 now is you take the total frequency divided by 4. So you take 44 divide 4, you get 11. Now if you still remember, when we did the a median, we take the 11, go to the cumulative frequency, then we check it comes between which number. Okay, so it comes between 7 and 17. It comes between here. Okay, number 11, and then this becomes working number 4. And then what happens here is the 7, you must choose the lowest figure, so the 7 will becomes the M, so this is working number 5. And what happens next is you must choose the next. Once you choose the M, the next becomes the Q1 class. You get it, guys? Okay, so that becomes the Q1 class. 10 will becomes the F, 20 becomes the L, the difference 10 becomes the C, the class interval. So now we can work out the answer, the formula, the L plus total F divided 4 minus M over F times C, where the L is 20 plus, you take the 11 minus 7 over 10 times 10, and then you check how much you get. So you should get 24 marks. Okay, so this is how you calculate the quartile 1, or we call it as lower quartile. Okay, formula. The difference is here is you just have to divide it by 4. Median you divide it by 2. Okay, median you divide by 2. That's the difference here between median and quartile 1, the Q1 in other words. Let's move on to next formula. So our next formula is upper quartile, or we call it as a quartile 3, Q3 in short form. Now the difference is here is this part. Now, this part is the difference. Okay, again, from median, from Q1 to Q3, only this part is the difference. So now what you're going to do here is you're going to divide 4 and then times 3. That's the difference here. So I'm going to use back the same example as example number 1. So I use back the example number 1, it's easier. Okay, so again, step 1 will be the M, where you start from 2, then you add up as usual, you find the cumulative, so, and then you total up, you working number 2, you get 44, this and this should be the same, correct? And then number 3, you take the total F divide 4, then you times 3, so you take 44 divide 4 times 3, you should get 33, correct? Okay, you should get 33. And then step 4, you take this 33 and then you go and find it comes between which number. It comes between here, the 33. Okay, then you have to choose the lowest figure, that becomes the M, and then the next whole row becomes the Q3 class. Okay, that becomes the Q3 class. So 8 becomes the F, 40 becomes the L, and the difference 10 becomes the C, the class interval. So now we can work out the formula. Minus M over F times C, where 40 plus is 33 minus 32 over 8 times 10. And then check the answer, guys, how much you get. So you should get 41.25 marks. So this is how you calculate the Q3. So the difference here is for the median. For median, you take total F divide 2. For Q1, you take total F divide 4. For Q3, you take total F divide 4 times 3. Okay, so this is the differences between the median Q1 and Q3. Okay, so this is basically 1 over 2, 1 over 4, 3 over 4. That's the thing happens here. Okay, so that's the difference between these three formulas. Okay, next we have the important formula here, which is the standard deviation ungrouped data Now this is the formula. Okay, now so this is ungrouped data. So back to ungrouped data, standard deviation. Now standard deviation is to calculate the risk of the investment. Basically, standard deviation will be used for investment most of the times, but it's also used for the other factors, so variables in other words. But it is the important is to calculate the risk of the variables. Okay, and the mean should give you return on the investment. Okay, should give you the return on investment. So when you calculate, the risk should be lower than the return, and the return should be higher than the risk. Then the investment is acceptable, or the specific project is acceptable, or the variables, or any investments that you want to make. Okay, so for example, over here in my example over here, I'm going to use marks as an example. So what's going to happen here is, even for marks, if you are calculating mean, it should give you a passing rate, average passing rate. And if you calculate the risk, the standard deviation, it should give you a failing rate, in other words. So let's see the formula is workable or not. Yep. So the first working, it should be the mean. So this is ungrouped data, so you should follow the mean ungrouped data. So you total up all the numbers, so you should get 315 divided by 6 numbers that you have, so you should get 52.5 marks. So basically it's approximately giving you a passing marks over there. Number 2 is the standard deviation working. So you take your each of the value, 30 minus 52.5, and you power of 2, 20 minus 52.5, then you power of 2. So you take each of the value. Okay, so you calculate one by one. Then you total up, so how much you get. So you should get 4637.5. And then number 3, let's work out the standard deviation. Four six three 7.5, 6 minus 1, how much you get? So you should get you get 30.45 marks. So yeah, so it's give you and a failing rate. So this is give you a passing rate or passing marks, average passing marks, and this give you and a failing marks, in other words. Okay, so this formula is workable. So standard deviation will give you the risk. The risk basically it's a risk of failure, or risk of loss, or risk of loss is for investments, failure maybe for machineries or equipment and so on. What is the risk and so on. So it's basically to calculate the risk. It will give you the negative answers, a negative or bad values, in other words. Okay, let's move on to next part. Standard deviation, group data,